Welcome to Lab 7, Configuring and Optimizing Storage. So in this exercise, we're going to be doing things like removing an iSCSI target, creating and configuring other additional iSCSI targets, configuring the iSCSI initiator, configuring tiered storage, and user features on demand. So that should be kind of fun. So for this, we need to be on our storage machine. Now let's go ahead and open up our management console. We're going to be looking at our file and storage service, and we're going to be looking at iSCSI. You're going to see that we have several storages already, and we have a few IQN iSCSI targets already connected. So what we're going to do is see they're already all showing connected. We're going to right click and we're going to disable all of the virtual disks. Right now, we're not going to remove them, we're just going to disable them. Once we're done with that, let's go ahead and hop on server 1. Go ahead and get logged in. Wait for server manager to pop up. And we're going to look at our iSCSI initiator. So tools, go down to iSCSI. And you should see that they are connected. So let's go to the volumes and device tab. You should see there should be nothing there. If something is there, go ahead and remove them by clicking on them and remove. When we disable the virtual disks on storage, it should have also disabled them here, and that's what it did. So let's go ahead and go to Discovery. You should see storage there. Let's go ahead and remove it. Our goal here is to completely remove any iSCSI targets that we have. You should be able to go to Favorites and see if any are there. Luckily, that should be a storage cluster target. We're going to remove. All right, we're going to hop on server 2 and we're going to do the same steps. Go ahead and get logged in. We're going to wait for server manager to open. Going to navigate to iSCSI the initiator. Volumes and devices. Here they are there, so let's go ahead and clear all of them. Under Discovery, let's go ahead and delete Storage 1. Under Favorite Targets, let's go ahead and remove that as well. So there should be no iSCSI disks. Let's hop over back to Storage 1. And instead of having these disabled, our lab actually wants us to remove them. So let's go ahead and remove them. Remove all 5 of them. So they should be completely gone. Once we do that, let's hop back over to server 1 and let's verify. We want to go to File and Storage. And you should see there are no additional disks. Just to make sure, let's go ahead and go to Computer Management. So we can go to Disk Management. Let it connect. So it took a few minutes, but it finally connected. And you'll notice no disks. All right, so that's actually the end of Lab 7.1. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And we're going to move forward to 7.2. Move, maximize, same thing. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to go back to storage. We're going to re-navigate to iSCSI. So again, that should be File and Storage, Services, iSCSI, and you'll notice there's nothing here. Let's go ahead and click on the Create iSCSI Virtual Disk. Let's start the wizard. So here we have our server name, and we also have the appropriate volumes that we have. All right, so we're going to go ahead and choose C drive. Go ahead and give it a name. We're going to give it our quorum drive name. RUM drive. Oh, let's do that without spaces. Go ahead and leave the description if you want to put one in. We want to make this 2 gigs. You can leave the clear the virtual disk on allocation. That's fine. On the existing, let's go and choose a new iSCSI target. Let's go ahead and name this iSCSI. Oh, sorry. Let's go ahead and name this cluster group 1. You can put a description there if you want. Let's go ahead and click to add a specific iSCSI initiator. So yeah. So once you get here, we're going to go and select the initiator. We're going to add the one for server 1. We're going to add another one for server 2. And so we should have both servers. Let's go and click on next. We do have the ability to initiate some type of authentication. We aren't going to be doing authentication here, but normally it's a great idea. Go ahead and confirm your settings, click create. Takes a few moments, and we've already created one. So let's go ahead and let's create a new one. This time we're going to call this one data drive. Same steps. This time we're going to make it 8 gigs. We can assign it to a cluster group or the cluster servers. In this example, we actually want to go ahead and assign it to the cluster group that we just created. Verify the appropriate settings. Go ahead and create it. And you'll notice that their status is not connected. We created them, but that's all we've done. That's actually the end of 7.2. So let's go ahead and jump directly into 7.3. It wants us to connect to one of our servers. So I'm connecting to server 1. I'm going to open up Server Manager, go to iSCSI Initiator, and we're going to go ahead and go to Discovery. There should be no Discovery addresses there because we already removed them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and type it in. Discovery Portal 192.168.1.80, because that is the address of our storage unit. Go and click OK. Give it a second. Go ahead and click on the target button. After you take a second, you'll notice it shows inactive. Not connected, but inactive. So go ahead and click on inactive and click on connect. If you want to allow multiple paths, go ahead and select it. Normally, I always include it just in case, but you'll notice it says connected. Go ahead and click on volumes and devices, and you should see that right now there are no current volumes displayed just yet. That's because you have to add them or config them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on auto config, and you'll see both of the iSCSI disks that I created on storage are now here. So now we see both of them. Let's go ahead and configure them so we can use them. We're going to do computer management so that we can go to disk management. Give it a second, and you should see we have 2 hosts now. They're offline, and they're not configured. So let's go ahead and make them online. They're online but not initiated. So let's go ahead and initialize them. We can initialize both of them. For this example, MBR should be fine. So now they're showing online, but again, they're not allocated in any way. So let's go ahead and let's create a new simple volume. All the defaults for this should be fine. We actually want to name the first one that's 2 gigs back our Quorum drive. QUOURM drive. You can leave the drive letters defaults. I'm doing another simple volume for the other one, and this one will be called our data drive. And in a second, you should see that they are showing local storage, even though they're not local. They are healthy and they are attached. So this is the end of 7.3. We're going to exit out of computer management. It wants us to go on to 7.4. Let's go ahead and connect to storage. Let's go ahead and again, I'm going to go ahead and back all the way up to server manager. Wants us to go to file and storage services. Wants us to go to volumes. Wants us to go to disks. So you should start seeing all of the appropriate disks, whether they're online or offline. A lot of them are showing offline. The instructions have not said to bring them online yet, so I'm going to go ahead and leave them offline. We're going to go under volumes, and we're going to do storage pools. We already have available disks in our storage pool. We have the ones that were considered offline for physical disks. So let's go ahead and in the storage space up here, right click, and we're going to go ahead and click on. So, okay, they want us to click underneath this guy, new storage pool. Not anywhere, but you actually have to highlight the existing storage pool for the available disks. Wants us to give us the name. We're going to call this tiered storage. And we're going to select the appropriate pool. What disks? Go ahead and select the 3 disks. Review the settings. Click create. In a second, it should be done. And we'll now have tiered storage. And you'll notice its capacity says 12.8, free space is 12 gigs, and it's a combination of all of our drives. Now let's go ahead and set it up so we can use it. Right click on it, go new virtual disk. This should allow us to use this free space as a virtual disk. We want to call this again tiered disk. Oh, my caps lock was on. There we go, tiered disk. This will give us the ability to set up our software version of RAID. We want simple, mirrored, or parity. In this example, we're going to go and choose simple, but you can choose the appropriate options. We can do fixed or thin. Fixed is already there, and the storage pool will equal the volume size, as opposed to thin, that will allow you to grow the storage size. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and use. Oh, so our lab wants us to do 12, but you're going to notice our maximum is only 9, so we can only go up to 9. Here's where you'd probably be setting up different types of tiered storage, for example, fast storage and slow storage. Fast storage being probably storage on SSDs, and standard or traditional storage on regular hard drives. Now we can kind of tier them, but in this example, we're just doing virtual disk, so it's okay. Let's go ahead and click on Next, Verify, and let's create. When we're done, go ahead and close it. And you'll notice our new volume wizard automatically opens. You'll also notice our tiered storage is now pre-allocated, and we only have 1.5 gigs free. So we're going to go ahead and choose our storage. We're going to choose the appropriate space. We're going to, again, do the appropriate space as it lets us. It wants us to give this drive letter, E is fine. It wants us to name the volume, tiered storage, verify, and create. Now we've set up our tiered storage. That's actually end of 7.4. The last part is 7.5, using features on demand. Okay, so let's talk about what we did through Lab 7. Basically, we set up an iSCSI, we removed the existing iSCSI storage. We added iSCSI initiators and added iSCSI disks. Our storage server is supposed to simulate like some type of centralized storage or management, like a SAN, and we mapped drives from the SAN or the storage unit to our individual servers. That's what it's supposed to simulate. In a real life environment, you'll probably doing this from an iSCSI SAN with its own particular software, or very rarely I've done it, but through like Server 2012 storage. That way you actually have dedicated storage devices that are made to do this, not done through Server 2012. So with that said, let's move on to 7.5, using features on demand. It wants us to be on server 1 for this, and we actually want to go ahead and open up PowerShell. And go ahead and put it in the middle. Once it connects, I want to go ahead and click on or type git, likes the tab, Windows feature. Did not like that. Does help if you spell it correctly. So git Windows feature. It will actually then pull all of the services and features that are there, what is enrolled. X should mean what's actually present. But that gives you a nice huge list of what's available. So we're going to scroll up and we're going to find BitLocker. BitLocker is always kind of fun to find. We found BitLocker drive encryption. It is not there, but it is available. So next thing we want to do is we actually want to uninstall BitLocker. We want to remove it. So we're going to type uninstall Windows feature BitLocker. We want to remove it. If it was present, this should be removing it. It may take a few moments to do that, and there it goes. A restart, is it needed? Was it successful to remove it? And what features was the result? So it gives us some type of output, which is always nice. So we're going to go ahead and reissue get Windows feature, and we're going to refine BitLocker. And you're going to notice that it again is still not there. So that was, oh, I scrolled down too far. That was Windows features on demand. You can do it through the GUI or through PowerShell. Not quite sure what that's in Lab 7, but there you go. I want to thank you.